this obviously, probably the only thing disappointed in is the result. Obviously, a tight game. Love the way we fought. With so many young players. Obviously, at a physical disadvantage, especially in the front court, and to compete the way they competed. I'm proud of it. And you have a chance to have a good team. The culture of your program is changing. When you walk in after a game and the guys are crying 10 games in about losing, not about themselves not playing great. And that's when we knew we had turned a corner at Wagner, and I started walking into locker rooms like that, and that's what I just walked into. And bottom line was, if we made a couple more free throws, we probably would have won.
Here's the last play, Coach, what was called in the huddle, and did they execute what you wanted?
Yeah, you know what, I think, we wanted to get to like a horns ball screen, and give X, 2 opportunities to go and touch the paint. We wanted to dive Gil off the first one, and then have him mirror the ball on the baseline and put him in offensive rebounding position, and then have Hassan set the second one and roll down the opposite lane line and get him into rebounding position, and get X, attacking the lane with EC circling behind him, maybe for a kick out and a rip if EC couldn't touch the paint. I just think that our spacing with that second screen got a little bit too far to the opposite elbow, and didn't give really X a good chance to get a good portion of the right lane line. And that EC, who had been living in the paint, just one of those times where we just kind of didn't get on the offensive guy's hip. We just wish we could have, been in the lane in that last possession like we lived in the lane pretty much the entire game.
Dan, what led to your conversation on the court with Eddie, and what was the gist of it?
You know what? I think it's just, it's an intense environment. Obviously when you play, games here with that type of crowd, I mean, it's as good as it gets in college. Me and Ed, have a pretty friendly relationship. We just kind of, try to, just fire our teams up. We were both fired up. It's a crazy atmosphere. I'm not proud of it, but I'm an emotional guy. Ed's an emotional guy, and I thought we put it behind us. Obviously, the crowd didn't like the sportsmanship gesture, but I don't think either one of us could live with having that.
If there was a technical enforcement what he did, is that what you felt impressed about that?
A lot of things let go, and both ways, I guess.
Gil, you've had a couple of games against pieces in your career with your Rutgers. Was there a comfort level coming into tonight playing them?
Yeah, I was confident.
Gil, what was that mood like for the players when you went in there after,
We are Christ. We really want to play. Such loss is going to bring us together and be ready for the next game.
Dan, you were going a little offense, defense late there. Just talk about how you settled on those two units.
TJ, I thought, we did a really good job, on Bryce Cotton. Both Biggie and TJ did a good job. I thought TJ did a little better job. One of his 5 field goals was, actually 2 of his 5 field goals were broken plays. Those balls that were picked up off the floor when we just lost them. And, at least one of those was in the first half. But to hold him to 5 for 15 shooting, which is generally what you're going to get in a game like this, a real intense defensive battle. And then obviously, with Jarrell and his length, we were getting hurt a little bit, with second chance points, late. Obviously, the foul call late, which put them at the line, which I guess was a foul. And then then obviously having EC and Iggy, two guys that will go and touch the paint and attack the lane and get in and create things at the rim for us when we get them on the court.
You held them to 8 for 27 field in the second half. That's sort of defense that this team's going to need to play this step.
I mean, we've played it, we played it at times. What's led to bad defense for us in the early part of the year is inexplicably turning the ball over. Last year, we were one of the best teams in the country with ball security. This year, we have to be good, take care of the ball, which has led to runouts, which leads to 1-for-1s from the field, which hurts your field goal percentage defense. I think right now, I think we realized who we needed to be really after the Arizona game, and now we have the next 20 games, 20-plus games to work towards what we need to be. We've identified how to use personnel. This is a very young team that's playing together for the first time, and we are starting something from scratch here, where we had one basically TJ Buchanan is the one holdover from when we got here. He was on the court today. So everyone that played today had pretty much been with us for the last 18 and 19 months.
Coach, after Gil's three-point play there late in the second half, you guys really one or two more touches in the game. Was that something they did, or is that something that you guys didn't go back to enough?
Yeah, you know what? They're big. Obviously throughout the year, they did a good job of mixing zone and man. Their zone is big and long, 7 foot, 6'9", 6'9", 6'6" shooting guard. They're lengthy, so it's hard to straight post against the zone. We will obviously, Gil played 25 minutes at 13-7. We got to keep him out of foul trouble so that he can get to the 32-minute mark, so that he can be, more like the 15-10, 16-10 guy like we expect him to be.
Yeah, at the end of the first half, they started to create some distance up 9. Gil had 2. You elected to go back to him. Talk about that thought process a little bit, because obviously they don't believe.
Yeah, we don't obviously talk a whole lot about our lack of what we have, but we through injury and other other situations, our front court is diminished right now. We're basically playing 3 guys that can play around the basket, 2 of which are freshmen that have never played college basketball before, and Gil, who sat out a year.
Dan, what do you say to EC? I know you went right out to the court as soon as that game ended.
I don't care about the result. I care about the player. That kid's going to be a star player. He's going to be a great player. Anytime a player apologizes to his coaches after a game for letting us down, and you have a special person, especially in this environment of basketball that we live in. He's an awesome kid. We're so lucky to have him in this program.
Last one or two.
Coach, what do you say with the situation with Mike Powell is Gil right now? It's just Gil and Powell.
I think just, when you don't have everything that you need to be what you want to be, what you must have established, is your culture and a real professional way of doing things every single day in every single way.
Coach, back to your opening remarks, how do you use this as kind of a teachable moment? You said you really learned a lot about your guys tonight. You'll be in a situation like this down the road, you presume, in a tight game.
Listen, I think they're a really good team. Obviously, they're physically very, very gifted, well-coached team. This is obviously, I think they represent, what would be probably, what would be the top of our conference potentially. And we're obviously devastated that we didn't win the game because we felt like we felt deserving of a victory. But I just think that we have a lot of upside. We have a lot of new pieces, moving parts that we will get. We will get chemistry, we will get the flow, and I think we will get better as the year will go on. Which is, I think, all you could ask of what we're doing here with this program.